everyone. So welcome back to a new session in which we are study about system design. So before covering the system design, first we have to understand what is LLD. Okay, what is LLD? Low level design. Okay, and so let's see what exactly is low level design. So seeing this thing, we have to understand what is low level design. So let me change the colors to okay. So I'm not going to say that it stand for the low level design or kind of oops things. So I say that in the brief, you can say that LLD is how a system is going to implement at the code level. So if you want to implement any system, so how it implemented in the code level. So it explain the implementation at the code level. And that's all. You have a system and now you are figuring out the best way to implement it. Okay. This is exactly what is LLD stands for. Okay. And then move to the next question, that is why what about the LLD interview and how we approach one. So first of all, and what the LLD questions, how we approach question. So let's see. So for that one, this is the first part. So after that we move to the next question, that is how are the LLD question are approached here. So okay, so these are the this is about LLD. So if you have a more than 2 year experience of applying senior associate role, but now it's for the fresher also, you can expect LLD round. Okay, so now we are some fresher or for the entry role, so they can ask LLD round, and this round is typically around a long hour. Okay, so I am going to share approach how you handle this LLD interviews. Okay, and after getting the question, so what you receive. So in that, first spend spend some time to clarify all the requirements. Okay, so whenever you approach any question, first of all you have to spend time on how what are the requirement of this things. Okay, requirement of the thing. Okay, and the thing is, and then read all the requirement carefully. If the requirement aren't explicitly given, so which is mostly common because they sometimes don't give the exact requirement that you needed, so they expect from you that you can point out that the things I needed and I want to need in this solving this question. Okay, try to finalize them through a discussion with interviewer. Okay, and also don't assume anything. So assuming anything is not assume something, is totally based on discussion, how you approach, how you think, seeing the all the clarification. Okay, so don't try to assume anything. So if you are going to just confirm with the interviewer once, if you want, I want to use this logic. So first of all, don't assume that this is the thing happened, so that's why I'm doing this one. So if you know that 2 plus 2 is 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, so don't assume 2 plus 3 is equal to 6. Okay, so first of all clarify it is available or not. Okay, then move to the next part, that is that is this thinking about the solution. Okay, so thinking about the solution, so how you think. So so everyone, it's an hour 1 hour in 1 hour session. So first of all, spend some time to think about the design of the system before jumping to the actual code. So how you design, what are the things that you needed, what are the design pattern that are using. Okay, think about how you can make the system extensible. Okay, and how can you handle the optional requirements. So keep the design principle and the design pattern in your mind. So two important things that you have to keep in your mind, a design principle and this a design pattern. Okay, two things are more important for solving that LLD question. So one mistake I did initially during this practicing the LLD. Okay, I always try to some design pattern into the solution. So like don't try to fit like if you know some pattern, like don't try to like fit that pattern. I want to solve that pattern. So don't try to solve some like design pattern into the solution. Okay. uh, Rather than like but I know it is not supposed to be that way, but design pattern are like design pattern that you know. Okay, the design pattern that you know is actually a tool. Okay, that is a tool, and use them only when they make a like system better. Okay, so I know that that I have many different tools. Okay, if I want to like this I want to like I'm standing here. Okay, I'm standing here, and if I want to like go on this place like platform, okay, this platform, so I can simply jump on and like stand on this platform. We have like many of the pedestal like foot stamp like all these things, so I don't use like they like and then climb and then stand on this one. So this is unnecessary thing. Okay, so to don't use the design pattern tool unnecessary to like if only use when it required and when it make the system better. Okay, so let me first see I'm live or not. Just one sec. Everything is fine. So everything is fine. So so where we are, so like first of all we have to do the rough estimation of how much time you like your design would take to implement. And like when we're trying to solve any problem, first of all in your mind just like do some estimation like this much amount I take to solve this problem or implement on add a buffer or like add some buffer for writing the main method or running some test cases on the last minute or like quick also. These are the things that you have to keep in your mind. These are the requirement. These are also the requirement. Okay, so always keep in mind that if you like think to like if you think the implementation is going to going to take lots of time, just think another like another one. Okay, don't like stick to any one particular design pattern. Okay, and you can create a rough UML diagram. So like this is the one technical term that you heard. This is like this design pattern, design principle, okay, and this UML diagram. So like, and this UML diagram which include what are the basic necessity that are needed in this one is that classes, okay, classes, methods, and attributes, and the interactions. So this help both you and interviewer to visualize the system. So how it look like. Okay. So this is like second thing that first of all, like after getting, so first of all clarify the and then think about the solution. If it is not hitting you, so try to clarify all the doubts that are needed. And now let's move to the like third part. Okay. And the third part, that is so this is the third part that we are talking about. So like the loving part, that is a coding part, okay? And now the code you design confidently. Now we like when you like draw all this UML diagram, you first of all you confirm that I use this design pattern, then you start coding, okay? Then part, that at the end part, after coding all this thing and explain how this process all this thing, the end part is explain your implementation for the high level perspective, okay? And mention all the requirement that you have covered, okay? So like mention all the requirement that you have covered, these are the things, and have a good discussion with your interview now. And one personal advice, sometime interviewer try to push you something, why did you do it in this way, not in that way, etc. All this thing. If you are got a solid understanding, have some backbone, push the interviewer back, and but also keep in your mind mind they might be right, don't think that your like solution or your approach is like 100% correct. There is no 100% solution for the like any system design question. So just think what he wants to tell you, okay? So the next part is that the next part that is like, so coming the best part, that is how do we really get into LLD, okay? So how we get into this LLD part. So this is like, first of all, I'm going to explain how you start, I'm going to explain how you start your LLD things, and there are some a prerequisite to learn, like first of all, you have a strong understanding on the OOPS concept, okay? Then design principle and this design pattern. So these are the prerequisites to like solve any LLD question, okay? And like for design pattern, I would like suggest simply like that way you learn is not like, for design pattern I would suggest you very simple way that you can learn it and not waste lots of time. Design pattern are very simple, and if you don't make it complicated, that's is here is the how you can learn. First you can go like refactor give, get with some sim refactor give, there's some website, and got familiar with this pattern and watch a YouTube video that is explaining. Read any article or blog about this particular pattern and implement by yourself. Finally, go to ChatGPT for the learning the pattern and clearing all this doubt. And that's keep it very simple. But make sure that you're implementing the pattern after the learning thing. Okay. Now the end is finally here. Not like a winter is coming after many seasons. So like how you become a good at LLD, okay? This is the important question. So how to become good at LLD? So like I have to put at this place. So this is the answer. So like how it will come to going it, like so like how to become a good at LLD? Going it going so going to keep it simple. For the first few weeks, forgot about the coding out part. So like I am trying to cover all this in 3 days. So like don't I'm just rush in the hurry. So like in few days we like forgot about the coding. So pick up the question, grab the pen and pencil, write down all the requirement that are needed. So I try we try to solve the question. So first of all, we write down all the requirement that are we are going to have in our system. So what are this feature we have. Then list down all the classes and their methods, okay, and model and their attribute and the overall system interaction. So like first of all, I write what are the classes and what are the methods we needed and the models and their attributes and the overall system interaction. That is, and you don't have to write down the full logic, okay? So you don't need to write all the full logic, just focus on creating a solid skeleton, okay? practice this daily with a different way, a different type of problem for the week or two, like all this thing. I know it's take 1 month, but we try to try to solve in this like few days. Okay. Now the time is to level up. Start implementing your design on, also leave it on the like a working condition. So what is like implementing the design and leave it in the working condition. And now you can follow the design like pattern while coding, and it might help controllers, services, model repository, and keep learning and learn and repeat. Okay. So little advice when it comes to LLD here, there is no one solution. Okay. So you can find millions, like find tons of solution of one line, some good or bad without you knowing. Okay. So like trust your solution, and if you are validating with some others. Okay. So trust your solution. Okay. Another, I have added a bunch of resources below. So whenever you need it, like I had a bunch of resources in your. So, but don't feel that pressure is go through like through the single video or article. The idea is to get familiar with the what is solid principle look like, and then start practicing at your own. So these are the overall strategy. So how you like start this LLD journey. And there is like different resources through which you can understand all this thing. So like many of the YouTubers are low level design by the Shreyans, low level by Tech Granath with Bhattacharya and all other things. Okay. So first of all, let me like describe about something. What are the things that you needed for like LLD? So like like Shreyans is like master in this thing, but they like members only, they like don't post all this thing. They add a membership all this thing into the all the thing. Okay. So the first thing is that is LLD. What is LLD? Then we have to understand the solid principle. What is solid principle? Then starting from the SLOI and the strategy design patterns. What are the different type of patterns? Okay. So in this lecture, we like basically understand how you approach what is LLD and why LLD, and how like in we answer in the like in this interview. Okay. So as we say that what are the things that we required to master the LLD. First of all, we have to focus. Like first of all, I have to so I have to master. So let me erase this thing. First of all, I have to like master the oops. Okay. So I have to write here. Okay. I have to write. I have to write. So first of all, like first phase. Phase is phase one. That is phase one is that master the oops. So mastering the oops. Okay. Master pattern. Okay. So like these concepts that are used every LLD question, that is like we are using like what classes we have to make class, then we have to make object, constructor. Okay, constructor, and encapsulation. Okay, encapsulation. Then you have to understanding all about, you have to write the code of the abstraction. So how to write the code of abstraction. Then inheritance. Okay, inheritance. Then you have to know about the morphism. Okay, association. What is the difference between association and this like aggregation? So you have a strong command. Association, what is association? Okay, then aggregation, aggregation, then composition, composition, if you know the composition, then interface, like also like this term is like composition. So let's see UMPUS. Oh sorry, I missed this one. Like then we talk about this interface. What is the interface? These are the like terms in the Java. Then if you know that this term, then what is like abstract class? Okay, abstract class, abstract class. Then we different type of access modifier. Like sometimes like we are like managing a banking system, so in that we make our bank data like private, protected, all this thing. So if you know about this access modifier, access modifier, so in that you have like public, private, public, private, and this protected thing. So if you, so like in class, constructor, encapsulation, and inheritance, polymorphism, association, aggregation, composition, interface, abstract class. And if you know this access modifier, so in don't like when to use public class, private class, and the protected class. Then in like the last thing, that is like understanding of the static versus instances. Okay, okay. And the most important thing is the method overloading, loading, and method overriding, method overriding. Okay. So if you know is all this basic oops concept, then is it like phase one. Phase one, like first of all, we have to master this oops concept. Okay. Then what we have to do? So we have to jump to the next part, that is phase two. So what is inside the phase two? Let's write the phase two. So that is phase two. Okay. So this is all about after phase one, like phase two. So inside phase two, we have a strong understanding of the what is solid principle. Solid principle. Okay. So like very important. So if you already started like as principle, so then you have to understand solid principle. So let's see phase two, solid principle. So what is S stands for? S stands for the like single responsibility. Okay. Responsibility principle. Okay. Principle that we call as SRP. Okay. Then and next stand for the what? Like open close. O stand for the open and close principle. That we stand for the OCP. OCP. So that is like open close principle. Then after move to the stand for the L, solid. So L is Liskov, LIST Liskov, substitution, okay, substitution principle. Don't like mind like on this thing like spelling mistake. Okay. So like and I stand for the like interface segregation, interface segregation principle. Inter segregation principle, and this D stand for dependency, dependency inversion principle. Okay. So like this is the second phase, that is like you all this I know that I wasted the time for writing this all this thing. And if you know this like single list of all this thing, interface segregation dependency, all this thing, and why this understanding is important, because why this like understand why this principle exists. The question come to our mind first of all, wait, why this principle exists. Okay. And what problem it solved, so why we use the solid principle, and like we also made the bad example, good example, and the real life analogy. And after finishing and after understanding how we use, then we move to the third phase, that is talking about the like phase 3, that is talking about the a common relationship, the common relationship. Okay, this is the most important. So like many of the like skip in LLD, that you have to know about the common relationship things. Okay, so there are some they ask everywhere. So there is like a relation, like a spelling relation, like I tried S. Okay, so these are the common relationship, like these are asked everywhere. So first of all, I have the understanding of the is a relationship, is a relationship, then has a relationship. Okay, then association, as we were talking earlier, association, what is association, then aggregation. Okay, then like aggregation. Okay, and then you're talking about the composition, position, and dependency. So these are the relations, like when we like move to this understand why solid principle, as so why you we use where to solve, then this common relationship we like face is a has a association, aggregation, composition, all these dependency things. Okay, so like car has a has a relation. So first of all, we see the many examples. So car has a engine. Okay, has a engine. Okay, so in that case we use dog is an animal. So like dog is an animal, is an animal. So these are the example. Okay, and like if you understand all this relationship, then move to the phase 4, like phase 4. Okay, phase 4, that is talking about the UML basics. Okay, UML basics. So what is UML stand for, like unified, like all this thing. So you don't need to become a UML expert. Like you like little bit understand why, how. Okay. So first, what are the things that is needed? You understand the class diagram, how like how the class diagram look like. Okay. You understand the class diagram, sequences. Okay. Sequences diagram, and like use a use case diagram. So these are the use case diagram. The class diagram, sequence diagram, use case. So especially class diagram, they appear in almost every LLD. So this is like most important. So like this is the most important you have to understand. Okay, especially this class diagram is very important. So after finishing this understanding, this don't take too much time. After finishing, we like reach to the phase 5. Okay, phase 5, that is about like a design pattern. Okay, design pattern. Okay, like don't memorize all like 20, we have like 23 like pattern we have. Okay, so like don't memorize all this 23 at once, start with these. So like what are the design pattern was we have, like we have creational, inside the creational we have some pattern that is like singleton. Okay, singleton, that's factory method. Okay, then builder method. So these are like these are the like inside the creational. So when we move to this structural one, structural one, so in that case we have like adapter, adapter, then we have decorator, decorator. Okay, and then these are like a creational structure. Then we move to the behavior, behavior, vehicle. Okay, so in that so like so behavioral, behavior. So in that we have like some strategy. Okay, strategy, and this strategy, then observer. Okay, observer and like state, all this thing. So these are the, so these cover the most of interview. If you know the singleton, factory method, builder method, adapter, decorator, strategy, observer. So these cover the most interview scenario. Okay, and like the phase six is that is. So let's talk about the phase six. Phase six. So if you understand this all the designing pattern, then we move to this phase six. That is all about like you hear the like repeatedly in this interview what is like cohesion, like important technical terms, that is some technical technical terms that are needed, that is like what is cohesion. Okay, then coupling thing, dependency, mutable object interface, abstraction, encapsulation. Okay, uh de decomposition, dry, don't repeat yourself, that are like concept like DRY, don't repeat yourself. KIS is like keep it simple, stupid. Okay, then Yagni. Okay, Yagni like you aren't gonna need this. Okay, need it. So know what much, like you know what each means and why it's matter. Okay, and the one of the like most important things like before doing this thing is that collection and the data structure, that is like phase 7. This is not phase 7, I can say that it's phase 1. Okay, so you have understanding of the collections, what are the collection and data structure. Collection and data structure, like to know when to use array. Okay, array or like a list. Okay, so when you have to know that when to use this thing. Okay, when to use linked list, linked list, when to use stack, when to use queue. Okay, queue, has set t. So LLD is largely about choosing the right data structure. So choosing the right data structure. Okay, and after doing all this a 7 phase, then you go to the question and try to solve this. So this is whole roadmap of or introduction of LLD. So starting from the OOPS concept, then we master the like solid principle, then we understand all the common relationship is has association aggregation, then we understand all this UML like class diagram sequences, all this case, then all we have like different type of design patterns. So in this we talk about only eight like nine design like eight design pattern. Then we have like technical terms that are using like cohesion, dry, concept, encapsulation, mutable object, immutable object, and then choosing the right data structure. And so this is all about, this is how we like solve this LLD. So like, okay. So first of all, I have to understand what's all the OOPS concept. Then we move to the solid principle design pattern. Then solve 5 to 7 question like on this low level design. Okay. So then like in next session, we try to cover the first topic starting from the solid principle. Okay. Bye bye.